Hello, buddy, and welcome to another theory test. This is a free stream, so I'm not live. Doing it just before I go to work. Um, so I'm going to see how I get on. See, bring that back in and let's have a look at some. There we go.
What should you do if a tyre bursts while you're driving? Continue on at a normal speed. Pull on the parking brake. Pull up slowly at the side of the road. Brake as quickly as possible.
I should pull up slowly at the side of the road.
What messages are given by circular traffic signs that have a blue background? They give directions to car parks. They give motorway information. They give temporary directions during a diversion. They give mandatory instructions.
Direction to a car park. No. We should. I think it's this one.
They give mandatory instructions. You're travelling on a motorway in England. When must you stop your vehicle? When signalled to stop by a pedestrian on the hard shoulder. When signalled to stop by a traffic officer. When signalled to stop by a driver who has broken down. When signalled to stop by a roadwork supervisor.
A traffic officer.
You're parked on the road at night. When must you use parking lights? When you're facing oncoming traffic. When there are continuous white lines in the middle of the road. When you're near a bus stop. When the speed limit exceeds 30 miles per hour.
Right. So
you're parked on the road at night. When must you use parking lights? When you're facing oncoming traffic.
That would make sense. So you can see you.
When there are continuous white lines in the middle of the road. When you're near a bus stop.
Could help.
When the speed limit exceeds 30 miles per hour.
I'm going to go with when you're facing oncoming traffic.
How will a police officer in a patrol vehicle signal for you to stop? Flash the headlights, indicate left, and point to the left. Use the siren, overtake, cut in front, and stop. Pull alongside you, use the siren, and wave you to stop. Overtake and give a slowing down arm signal.
I think they use the flashing light siren and point to the left.
Flash the headlights, indicate left, and point to the left. What should you do as you approach this cyclist? Try to overtake before the cyclist gets to the junction. Flash your headlights at the cyclist. Slow down and allow the cyclist to turn. Rev your engine so the cyclist knows you're following behind.
Slow down.
What information would be shown in a triangular road sign? Minimum speed. Ahead only. Keep left. Road narrows.
Ooh. I think they have a road narrows or two left. Thanks.
Who is authorized to signal you to stop? A pedestrian, a motorcyclist, a police officer.
Police officer.
Why do motorcyclists wear bright clothing? They must do so by law. It helps keep them cool in summer. To make them more visible,
More visible.
the colors are popular. You're approaching an unmarked crossroads. How should you deal with the junction? Slow down and keep to the right. Slow down and look both ways. Accelerate and look to the left. Accelerate and keep to the middle.
Slow down and look both ways.
You're waiting at a level crossing. What should you do if the red warning lights continue to flash after a train has passed by? Drive across carefully. Get out and investigate. Continue to wait.
Continue wait.
Telephone the signal operator.
What does this sign mean? National speed limit applies.
Not blah.
Waiting permitted. Clearway, no stopping. Waiting restrictions apply.
Yeah, we're no stopping.
Where are amber reflective studs found on the motorway? Between the central reservation and the carriageway. Between the hard shoulder and the carriageway. Between each pair of lanes. Between the acceleration lane and the carriageway.
Come on. Right.
Between the central reservation and the carriageway.
I don't think it's there.
Between the hard shoulder and the carriageway.
I think it's
Between the acceleration lane and the carriageway. What's most likely to waste fuel? Using different brands of fuel. Reducing your speed. Driving on motorways. Underinflated tires.
Underinflated tires.
What must you do if poor health affects your driving? Avoid using motorways. Inform the licensing authority. Inform your local police. Always drive accompanied.
Inform the license.
How can you avoid wheel spin when you're driving on an icy road? Use the parking brake if the wheels start to slip. Drive at a slow speed in the highest gear possible. Brake gently and repeatedly. Drive in a low gear at all times.
Low gear.
You're traveling on a road that has road humps. What should you do when the driver in front is traveling more slowly than you? Flash your headlights. Overtake as soon as you can. Sound your horn. Slow down and stay behind.
Slow down and stay behind.
What might you expect to happen in this situation? Traffic speed will increase. Traffic will move into the right-hand lane. Traffic won't need to change position. Traffic will move into the left-hand lane.
Right. So traffic will move. But this is where I mixed up with my right and left. So the blue car is coming down. He's on my right. And that lane is going to be closed, as you can see on the signs. So he'll be moving across to the left. So
Traffic will move into the left-hand lane.
yeah.
You're towing a caravan. What is the safest type of rear view mirror to use? Interior wide-angle mirror, ordinary interior mirror, ordinary door mirrors, extended arm side mirrors.
Extended arms.
What should you do when you see an older person about to cross the road ahead? Stop and wave them across the road.
No.
Expect them to wait for you to pass. Speed up to get past them quickly. Be careful, they may misjudge your speed.
Right.
Stop and wave them across the road.
We don't want to wave across because you don't know what's coming the other way.
Expect them to wait for you to pass.
We don't expect anything.
Speed up to get past them quickly.
No.
Be careful, they may misjudge your speed. What should you do if your vehicle pulls to one side when you use the brakes? Use your parking brake at the same time. Increase the pressure in your tires. Have the brakes checked as soon as possible.
Brakes checked as soon as possible.
Change gear and pump the brake pedal. Why is it dangerous to leave rear fog lights switched on after the fog has cleared? They may be confused with brake lights. Electrical systems could be overloaded. The bulbs would fail. Direction indicators may not work properly.
May be confused with brake lights.
When would you increase the pressure in your tires so that it's above the normal value? When carrying a heavy load.
Yeah.
When the tire tread is worn below 2 millimeters. When the roads are slippery. When the vehicle is fitted with anti-lock brakes.
When you carry a heavy load.
You're on a motorway. A lorry has stopped in the right-hand lane. What should you do when you see this sign on the lorry? Move into the right-hand lane. Stop behind the flashing lights. Leave the motorway at the next exit. Pass the lorry on the left. You're on a motorway. A lorry has stopped in the right-hand lane. What should you do when you see this sign on the lorry?
She's in the right-hand lane. Pass on the left.
What is the national speed limit on motorways for cars and motorcycles?
70.
What must you do if your eyesight has become very poor and you're no longer able to meet the driver's eyesight requirements? Tell your doctor. Tell the police. Tell your optician. Tell the driver licensing authority.
Driver license authorities.
How can driving in an eco-safe manner help protect the environment? By increasing the number of cars on the road, through the legal enforcement of speed regulation, through increased fuel bills, by reducing exhaust emissions.
Exhaust.
What should you do first if your vehicle has broken down on an automatic railway level crossing? Telephone your vehicle recovery service to move it. Get everyone out of the vehicle and clear of the.
Yep.
Try to push the vehicle clear of the crossing as soon as possible. Walk along the track to give warning to any approaching trains.
Everybody out.
What does this curved arrow road marking mean? Overtaking traffic should move back to the left. Heavy vehicles should take the next road on the left. The road ahead bends to the left. The road ahead has a camber to the left.
So overtaking vehicles need to go back onto the left.
What could cause you to crash if the level is allowed to get too low? Brake fluid level, antifreeze level, radiator coolant level, battery water level.
See, brake fluid.
Brake fluid level. What do you need before you can legally use a motor vehicle on the road? A vehicle handbook, an appropriate driving license, proof of your identity, breakdown cover.
Appropriate license.
When are you allowed to stop on a motorway? When you're signalled to do so by traffic signals. When you need to walk and get fresh air. When you need to use a mobile telephone. When you wish to pick up hitchhikers.
So
when you're signalled to do so by traffic signals.
Yeah.
What should you do if your vehicle catches fire while you're driving through a tunnel? Drive it out of the tunnel if it's safe to do so. Park it away from the carriageway. Leave it where it is with the engine running. Pull up, then walk to an emergency telephone.
Okay, pull up and walk to the emergency telephone.
What does this sign mean? Ancient monument ahead. Traffic danger spot ahead. Low bridge ahead. Tunnel ahead.
Tunnel ahead.
Why should you switch off your rear fog lights when the fog has cleared? To prevent dazzling drivers behind. To stop draining the battery. To stop the engine losing power. To allow your headlights to work.
Prevent dazzling.
What speed limit is often found in narrow residential streets?
No. 20. Which is not residential, which is going to be out of the state. You have kids running up. You have kids running up and down. Then you go at a slower speed. And you want to park cars up. Yeah. That makes sense.
You've stopped at a pelican crossing. What should you do if a disabled person is crossing slowly in front of you and the lights change to green? Edge forward slowly. Drive in front of them. Wait for them to finish crossing. Sound your horn.
Wait for them to finish crossing.
Why should you switch your headlights on when it first starts to get dark? Because the street lights are lit. So others can see you more. To make your dials easier to see. So that you blend in with other drivers.
But I can see you easily.
Why should you keep well to the left as you approach a right-hand bend? To let faster traffic from behind overtake. To overcome the effect of the road slope. To be positioned safely if you skid. To improve your view of the road.
Improve your view of the road.
You're behind this cyclist. When the traffic lights change, what should you do? Tap your horn and drive through first. Turn right, but give the cyclist room. Try to move off before the cyclist. Allow the cyclist time and room.
Time and room.
What signal should you give when you're going straight ahead at a roundabout? Don't signal at any time. Signal left before leaving the roundabout.
No.
Signal left when you're approaching the roundabout. Signal right when you're approaching the roundabout.
Right, so driving along, you push the roundabout, signal right or left. Go straight ahead. You signal left, they're going to think you want to go to the right, the first exit.
Signal left before leaving the roundabout. Don't signal at any time.
And don't signal at any time.
What type of emergency vehicle is fitted with a green flashing beacon? Fire engine,
That's red.
ambulance,
Blue.
doctor's car, road gritter.
That's up. Doctors.
What's the maximum fine for driving without insurance?
Unlimited.
What's the purpose of these road markings? To enable teachers to have clear access to the school. To enable parents to pick up or drop off children safely. To ensure delivery vehicles have easy access to the school. To ensure children can see and be seen when...
Yep.
What does a sign with a brown background show? Motorway routes, minor roads, primary roads, tourist directions.
Tourist directions.
Approaching a level crossing with no barrier, you see that the lights are flashing, indicating that a train is approaching. You stop to wait. Around a minute after you have stopped, a train rumbles slowly past. Nearly 30 seconds later, the lights are still flashing, although you cannot hear or see any more trains approaching. The driver of the vehicle behind you flashes his lights, and the lorry behind him sounds his horn impatiently. A few moments later, the lights stop flashing. You start to move forwards, but as you get to the crossing, your vehicle stalls.
What should you do if the red lights start flashing as you approach a level crossing? Stop before the barrier. Go over it quickly. Go over it carefully. Switch on your hazard warning lights.
Stop at the barrier.
You're waiting at a level crossing. What must you do if a train passes but the lights keep flashing? Edge over the stop line and look for trains. Carry on waiting. Phone the signal operator. Park and investigate.
Carry on waiting.
When should you use your vehicle's horn? To alert others to your presence. To greet other road users. To allow you right of way. To signal your annoyance. To alert others to your presence. When should you flash your headlights at other road users? When showing that you're about to turn. When letting them know that you're there. When telling them that you have right of way. When showing that you're giving way.
To let them know you're there.
Your vehicle has stalled in the middle of a level crossing. What should you do if the warning bells start to ring while you're trying to restart the engine? Push the vehicle clear of the crossing. Get out of the car and clear of the crossing. Carry on trying to restart the engine. Run down the track to warn the signal operator.
Get out and clear the signal. So we'll end that test. With a couple long, but right, let's go with this one.
You're parked on the road at night. When must you use parking lights?
Like when you experience speed of over 30. Yeah.
What does this sign mean? Waiting restrictions apply.
Where are amber reflective studs found on a motorway? Between the central reservation and the carriageway. How can you avoid wheel spin when you're driving on an icy road? Drive at a slow speed in the highest gear possible.
Right.
What should you do if your vehicle catches fire while you're driving through a tunnel? Drive it out of the tunnel if it's safe to do so.
Right.
What signal should you give when you're going straight ahead at a roundabout? Signal left before leaving the roundabout.
Have you got your headphones on? During this hazard perception part of your test, we will assess the skills you should have already developed whilst learning to drive. In each video clip during the test, there are hazards just like the ones that you would see on the road in normal driving conditions. Some of the hazards develop. These are the ones that might cause you as the driver to slow down or change direction. Just like on the road, some are hazards that you might just need to keep an eye on in case the situation changes. Others will develop, and these are the ones we will measure your response to. You will score points for clicking when you see these hazards develop. So, during the test, watch the clips and respond by clicking the left or right mouse button as soon as you think you spot a hazard. You will need to respond again each time the situation changes. You do not need to use the cursor or move the mouse. As you click, you will see a red flag appear. This is to show that your click has registered. When you click, the clip will not stop running. During the test, you'll be shown 14 clips that contain at least one scoreable hazard. But one of them will contain two scoring hazards, so it's essential that you keep concentrating and clicking all the way through each and every clip. Let's have a look at a sample clip. Imagine you're the driver of this.
We're driving along. Hmm. Hmm. think one has actually got two hazards, so you've got to be aware of that. Country lane now. More way. These cars coming in. passed the theory on the hazard perception, and I've obviously filmed that. I don't know what the pass rate is on. The pass mark is 44, and I got 35. Obviously not great, but okay. Just hopefully get a bit more practice in, and hopefully by the time the test comes around, I'll be up. Next to that, bring us back up. There we go. Yeah, so hopefully by the time the test comes, it'll be fine. So I'm going to do a few more of these during the week. Then on Thursday, I've got a live with Mark, and we'll go through a few things that we normally do anyways. So hope you enjoy watching this, and don't forget to like and leave a comment. So see you later. There we go. Bye.